PBAJ Season 2. This is the team prep and battle for the Lob City Clefs. Greg, I just had not had the time to do both after I recorded all of it, and XSplit said, "Funny, you don't get to use these recordings," and they just didn't work, and I just didn't have I just didn't want to redo them. But we're gonna do a quick recap of what we bear after we go over what he has. His tier 1 is a Hydreigon. His tier 2 is a Reuniclus. His tier 3 is a Crobat. His other tier 3 is a Crocodile. His tier 4 is an Alamomola. Tier 5 is a Rotom. His Mega is Mega Aggron. And for his 4 free picks, he has Whimsicott, Conkeldurr, Volcarona, and Wigglytuff. Things I think he most likely was going to bring going into this match. I felt like Reuniclus was a guarantee. I felt like Crobat, Hydreigon, and Crocodile were guarantees. I thought Volcarona, Alamomola, Conkeldurr, Whimsicott, and Aggron were all maybes. I was almost convinced the Rotom wasn't going to come, but if it was, I was like, if this thing does come, it's going to have Trick to try and trick my walls, and Wigglytuff I didn't expect at all. Didn't really prep for it. To go over our team, we have the Victini, the champ holding choice specs with Blue Flare, Dazzling Gleam, Thunder, Psyshock, Blue Flare one-shots Mega Aggron, which is something nice. Thunder does a really good amount to the Alamomola, and then Psyshock for stab, Dazzling Gleam for his Hydreigon and Crocodile. We have Terrakion, Sakazuki holding Sword Stance, Close Combat, Stone Edge, Poison Jab with a Minnow Herb. So the idea is to go for a Sword Stance on Whimsicott swapping in against us. It going for Encore, our Minnow Herb pops, and we kill it with Poison Jab. That was my thought process going into this battle, was to try and set up a Terrakion, throw him off guard with a Minnow Herb, and proceed to sweep. We have Iron Maiden, the Registeel with Seismic Toss, Thunder Wave, Stealth Rocks, and Iron Head, holding the leftovers. Again, just like a typical wall, it just needed to get some health. No, not health. Just needed to slow his team down, get the rocks up, and just get some chip damage as much as possible. We have Trux, our Mega Blastoise, with Aura Sphere, Scald, Dark Pulse, and Ice Beam. This just has really good coverage against his entire team. I felt like we could put a lot of holes in the team for Victini to come in and sweep, or Terrakion if needed. And finally, we have we have Vape Nation the Weezing with Taunt, Will-O-Wisp, Sludge Bomb, Fire Blast. We have a little speed in there in case he tried to speed creep his Mega Aggron and taunt us. Well, we're gonna predict to speed creep and put 40 in speed. We have a little bit in special attack, max defense, and a lot in HP. This thing, again, we just needed another wall, and Weezing had a pretty decent matchup against his team this week, I felt. Finally, we have Sinon, the Gardevoir, holding a Choice Scarf with Trick, Moonblast, Thunderbolt, and Shadow Ball. I didn't know if I wanted to bring Psyshock or not, because he does have 2 Dark types, so I just put Thunderbolt on there for the Alamomola. Hopefully that doesn't come and bite us in the butt, but going into the battle, what he brings the Reuniclus, the Alamomola, the Conkeldurr, the Whimsicott, the Crocodile, and the Mega Aggron. Looking at his team, I felt like there was not a whole lot he could swap into against our Victini, and we would just have to make proper predictions, and that's what I was thinking about going through into this battle, was we need to have our predictions basically on point. So I think I lead with Victini, so let's hit play and hope for the best. So he leads with his Alamomola as we lead Blastoise, actually, so I'm actually okay with this because I can just get a decent hit off. So I go for Dark Pulse as he goes for Toxic. I don't know why the animation won't change. I can't do anything about that. Change it to normal, so I just wanted to try to get a flinch. So I just go for another Dark Pulse, but of course we don't get the flinch, and he goes for Wish, which means he gets a free Protect. And so knowing that he's going to Protect, I'm going to swap to my Weezing to taunt him as he goes for the Protect this turn, and basically gets it for full. So I go for, I believe, Taunt here as he swaps to Reuniclus. Yeah, I go for Taunt as he swaps to Reuniclus, and I'm going to make a swap into Gardevoir because this thing can... I was just kind of see if he was, see what side he was. He goes for Psyshock. It doesn't do too much, but we know that we knew what we can do. So I'm going to go for Shadow Ball and try to get as much damage. I realize that this thing is really specially defensive, like max special defense, no attack, defense investment. So I go swap to Wheezing as he goes for Scald, and he gets the burn, of course, but nothing I can really do about that. He gets the burn. I'm going to swap to my Registeel to try and get some damage off as he swaps to his Reuniclus. I didn't want this thing set up in Calm Mind, so I think I go for Thunder Wave, or do I go for Stealth Arcs? Yeah, I go for Thunder Wave. As Aggron gets paralyzed, he's going to Mega Evolve. As I go for Seismic Toss, and I do 29% to him, and he's going to set up his own Stealth Rocks. I believe I click Stealth Rocks. Yeah, I go for Stealth Rocks on my own, and I don't have a good swap into this thing. I go to Gardevoir predicting the Fighting type move, and why wouldn't he? Why, I don't know why he goes for Knockoff, but I mean, we lose our win check basically to this thing, so that's kind of scary. I go out into Mega Blastoise, and I click Aura Sphere just to get a big hit off. We do get a crit, but it doesn't really matter because he can just OHKO us or get really close to. I don't know what to do against this thing at this point because I thought the Fighting type move was so obvious. So I'm going to swap to Victini and click Blue Flare, and not wanting him as Alomomola to come in, but of course we don't click Thunder. So we just go straight Blue Flare. It does a good amount, but I just don't want to take a Scald and him try to like Toxic Stall me. So I could have stayed in and Blue Flared there, but so I'm going to swap to Wheezing as he goes for a Wish. I believe, and then I realized, oh my god, he's just going to get a free swap into Conkeldurr. I'm so dumb. So, and I know he's Gut, so I can't Will-O-Wisp him. So I make a double into Victini because I do OHKO him, but Stealth Arcs damage is wrapping up because our Blastoise doesn't have Rapid Spin. And of course, I could have clicked, I don't know what I clicked here. I clicked Psyshock for some stupid reason. And if I click Blue Flare there, that's a huge threat away from us. I don't know. I just didn't know what to do. Conkeldurr is just such a pain to deal with. So he swaps and he's going to get back into Reuniclus, and I don't want this thing set up on Calm Minds against me, so I have to taunt it, I felt like. And we are just getting absolutely blown back as Reuniclus goes for Psyshock and knocks us out. We are down at 6-3. So Registeel can come in and just wall this thing. So his Conkeldurr does come in as we go for the Thunder Wave, and now he's Guts boosted, but like I needed this thing to be slowed down, like because I needed to get as much damage off. So I go for a Seismic Toss, and he goes for Drain Punch, and basically he gets straight back up to full, which is just super annoying. So he goes for Mach Punch, but it fails, and as I go for another Seismic Toss, and we get a good chunk off. I go for another Seismic Toss. I get him a little under half as he goes for the Drain Punch and gets right back up. Crit does not matter there, obviously, so he's at a point where I could just click, Mach Punch would not kill here, and again, I should have clicked Thunder here, but I just can't, I just don't want to, something just told me I shouldn't risk it, and obviously not making the plays is just risking me, it's just costing me so much. So I stay and go for Blue Flare as he goes for the Wish, and he can just protect here and just live this Blue Flare no problem, and that's exactly what he does. So, I mean, at this point I was just like, I'm just trying to get a kill. I don't care at this point. I knew I lost once Gardevoir went down and we had nothing for the Conk. So I go for Blue Flare as he just keeps setting up wishes, and there's really nothing I can do about that. I go for Blue Flare as he gets a little under 30%, and the wish is just going to put him right back up at 79%. So we're going to send in Terrakion, and we're going to hope he swaps to Whimsicott here, and hope he's not max speed. As I set up a Swords Dance, and he goes for the Scald, and as you can see in the comments, I was kind of pissed off, but oh well. I go for Swords Dance, and I gotta go for another one so I can OHKO this thing, and hope he doesn't burn me, which he doesn't burn me, which is nice, because he did burn me turn 1, or first Scald. So Close Combat OHKOs everything on his team at this point, and we do outspeed everything as long as he's not Scarf Crocodile or Max Speed Whimsicott. But he is max speed at Whimsicott, not the bulky set that we were predicting. So, if we had Rock Polish, we could have swept, but we don't have Rock Polish, so... yeah, we got blown back by Greg. Again, I've said past videos that he has the best team in the league, and... I just can't do much against that. Like, once Gardevoir went down, because I just like, oh, he's gonna Drain Punch me, I can live that and then proceed to kill something, and then his Conkeldurr just blew me back. I just don't know how to handle that. Like, again, I could have made the, if I click Blue Flare against the Conkeldurr when Whimsicott swapped in, Whimsicott dies, and we don't have this issue. And if Crocodile isn't Scarf, which I don't remember if it is or not, then we just proceed to sweep right then and there. And if we click Thunder one time with Victini on the Alomomola swap in, then we get a good chunk off, and then we can proceed to go from there if the Crocodile would come in or not, because if that Crocodile had Pursuit, which I'm pretty sure it did, we could probably work around that. Because if it does, if like, knowing Greg, if I go for Thunder and it does like over half in his Alomomola would die the next turn, he's gonna swap because of Regenerator, because that's just the way he plays. And I would know this because that's just like I said, I've battled Greg. This is the 5th time I've battled Greg in an elite format. That's just how he plays. And what I would have swapped to, I don't know. Probably Blastoise, because it was alive at that point, I think. And even if it wasn't, we have grass coverage on our guard. No, we have Thunderbolt on our guard. Wait, Moonblast on our Gardevoir, sorry. And like I said, we just need to make one good play, and this would be a closer game. I'm not saying we're going to win this game. The only chance we have of winning is if our Terrakion gets set up and stuff like that. Whimsicott's dead because of a Blue Flare from earlier, so if that happens, we're good. If Crocodile isn't Scarf, and if he gets paralyzed on a Mach Punch with his Conkeldurr, then we win the game. But, of course, that didn't happen. Greg just absolutely blew me back, and I've been disconnected from Showdown, which is hilarious. So, a lot of, I should have done this, I should have done that. Like, I was beating myself up pretty bad after this batch because, again, it's one of those moments where I was actually really confident going in this. I was like, I have a chance with this Terrakion set, with Victini being able to just dent his entire team. I have a chance, and it's kind of frustrating when you just get absolutely blown back when you feel like you have a chance, and that just shows like Greg did better than me, even though it was like 6 people team prepped against me, which is hilarious because they were all sitting in a call when I hopped on Discord, and I was like, oh, okay. They're all plotting against me. And what do you know? I got destroyed. So, we'll bounce back. So far, we haven't lost 2 games in a row this season, because my phone decides to blow up because of fantasy football. And next week, we're going to come out, hopefully get a dub. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button. Go check out Greg. His link will be in the description. His YouTube will, and I go subscribe to him. I think he's getting really close to 50 subscribers. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. See you guys next time. Bye.